Hey, my name is Shanice. I am a psychic medium and astrologer. And in this video, I will be talking about my journey. How did I know that I was a psychic and what led me to astrology? So, if that's something that you are interested in hearing about, then keep on watching. I really hope that y'all can't hear the hold music because I'm on hold right now because I'm trying to schedule a dentist appointment. But I'm gonna put my microphone on one of my locks because I don't want to hold it this entire video. This video kind of ghetto. It's not how I planned it, but you got to do what you got to do. So I'm gonna start by telling y'all a bit about my childhood. My mom isolated me, y'all, and I really believe that isolation prepared me for my life, the things and the challenges that I went through, but also I think that it strengthened my psychic abilities. I think that most psychics spend a lot of time alone, and a lot of alone time allows you to reflect and allows you to strengthen your intuition. We're going to get into how I've been feeling lately because I have been feeling very disconnected from my gifts, and this is why I have not been doing psychic medium readings because I've been feeling a little bit disconnected from my intuition. So, like I said, I'm gonna describe my childhood, and I'm gonna go into detail a little bit about it and what what led me to knowing that I was a psychic. I've always known that I was a psychic. I've always known that there was something different about me. I just didn't believe in it because a lot of people gaslit me and made me feel like I was crazy. My exes make me feel like I'm a stalker, but there's certain things that I just know within my relationships. My intuition is extremely strong and it scares me sometimes. Not only does it scare me, but it scares the people around me. When I was a little girl, I used to see things, like actual people that were not physically there. I don't see that type of stuff anymore, but when I was young, I used to see it and it used to creep me out. I used to say things before they happened. My dreams were very vivid and they would come true. I would get in trouble a lot with adults because they would try to figure out how I knew certain things. Like I was always told that I knew grown folks' business, and I don't know how. I've always been told that I know the right things to say at the right time. Um, there's just been a lot of things that have happened in my life that has confirmed me being a psychic and a medium. Lately, though, it's been a bit challenging because, like I said, my whole life, or I don't know if I said this, my whole life, I've been pretty much gaslit. I got cat hair on my face. I've been gaslit my entire life to believe, or made to believe, not to believe my intuition, not to believe the things that I could see that others couldn't. And so, a lot of the time, or my entire life, my entire adult life, my entire childhood, I use my intuition in a lot of situations. And I've always been told, why do you think that way? Why do you act like that? I'm a psychic and a medium. I don't know how to explain it other than that. I've always been very devoted to my faith, whether that was me being religious or now me being spiritual, but I've always had a connection to God or source. And I think that a lot of what I've been through, like the experiences that I've had, the trauma that I've had, led me to strengthening my psychic abilities. Now, I said earlier that I haven't been doing readings. Um, and that's because I don't feel connected to my intuition. I feel really ungrounded. And that's because in 2022, I had a mental health breakdown. Like I had a nervous breakdown. And I was dealing with the situation with my parents and my family, but I was also in a situation with a guy that drove me insane. And all of this happened right around 2019, or it started in 2019. This was right before my Saturn return. And it was just chaotic. Like I lost my job, I lost my apartment. It was just things were falling apart. And then I thought like my mom was dying, but that's a whole nother story within itself. I'm not gonna put her business out here, but like it was just a lot going on. And I had a nervous breakdown and I felt really disconnected from my intuition. I felt disconnected from the world. I was losing a lot of my friends because I was clearing out a lot of relationships that were one sided. I was just ending my people pleasing reign, like I was the queen of people pleasing and I was ending that reign. And it was just very lonely. And I found myself being in another period of isolation, which happens pretty frequently in my life. But 2022, mental health breakdown, going through a period of isolation that I'm still in, by the way. So I say all of this to say that I'm just learning how to ground myself and trust myself and have confidence in myself because my whole life I've been told that I was crazy and not to trust my intuition and not to believe in my abilities. So now I'm developing a routine where I can feel strong and grounded in my psychic gifts. I hope I said a lot, but I hope all of that made sense. I also want to talk about me manifesting things. And I didn't know that that's what it was called, manifestation, but I would have dreams about things and then it would come true. So, for example, I had a dream about Beyonce like years before I met her. And the year that I started working for her sister, I had manifested that before. Like I was telling people about it and saying that it was going to happen. And then when it finally happened, people were calling me a witch. Like they were saying like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. You said it was going to happen." And people were still calling me crazy. It was just things like that. Like there is nothing in my mind that I can't do. And I've been told my whole life that I shouldn't do it or like I can't do it. And when I went through this whole nervous breakdown, I was still being gaslit. Like I was still being told that I was crazy, that I was making things up, that I was delusional, that I was a stalker and I wasn't or I'm not. And now I'm trying to just get more confident and get back into that. Like that's honestly what has been going on since 2022. Um, like I said, I've always been a powerful manifester, and I just want to give advice about that. Um, in this video, I feel like I'm saying I'm a lie. Am I saying I'm a lie? Oh, but I want to give advice about manifesting things. There's nothing that you can't do. If you can see it in your mind, you can achieve it in real life. And we've been told, cat hair, we've been told our whole lives, most of us anyway, especially Black people, we've been told that we can't attain certain things, it's not achievable, but it is. And I think that we get misguided a lot, especially within the communities, the urban communities, like the ghetto and shit. We get misguided, but there's nothing that you can't achieve in your mind. And I just want to say that to anybody who's watching this, because my whole life I was told that I was crazy and that I shouldn't be saying certain things and I shouldn't be doing certain things, but I just believed everything that I saw in my mind and it happened. And I'm just getting back into believing in myself. I keep saying that, but that's something that I'm getting into and I'm stepping into. I feel like I'm stepping into my body. I want to go over my Saturn return. My natal Saturn sits in Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius is knowing the truth and making changes to incorporate what you know about the truth. That's basically Saturn in Aquarius. And so it's very comfortable. My Saturn's comfortable. And how I how I can describe my Saturn in Aquarius is me wanting to save the world but knowing that I can't. That's honestly what that feels like. And my Saturn return, I felt like I was trying to keep everybody in my life who weren't meant to be kept. I was trying to save everybody that like I can't even save myself. How am I trying to save other people? Or I wasn't even trying to save myself. How can I save other people? It was just a mess. But by the end of my Saturn return, I hope I'm saying it. Am I saying Saturn? Yes, I'm saying it. By the end of my Saturn return, I felt lighter. I had released a lot of toxic relationships. I had grounded myself in astrology by then. Pause. As I was editing this video, I realized I didn't go into detail about what led me into astrology, and that was a Pluto transit. So Pluto formed in opposition to my natal sun in Cancer while it was in Capricorn in late February of 2022. And it basically caused me to have a mental breakdown. And I can laugh about it now, but Pluto is no joke, okay? Pluto represents transformation, rebirth, and it also represents deep, hidden, subconscious, psychological things that you don't want to be made aware of. It brings it to your awareness. So, yeah, after a Pluto transit, you usually come out completely different than who you were before. And I definitely feel like I am a completely different person. I definitely feel stronger. Pluto represents power. And I definitely feel like I'm stepping into my power. And and I just started to get into where I am now, and that's building this confidence up within my intuition. I don't know if I will ever do psychic medium readings because my gifts don't work in the way that I see other people's gifts work on social media. I can't control it. Um, it's funny though because I do astrology readings. I do astrology readings, y'all. So if you want an astrology reading, book it. The link will be in the description below. But I find myself when I do astrology readings, they end up turning into psychic mediumship type readings. So I just want to say that like I can't really control it. And I think that's perfect. I like it like that, to be honest. I don't want it to be on demand. Um, my grandmother on the other side, my maternal grandmother, she passed away when I was in the second grade, I believe. I can't remember the exact year. It was 1998. I'm lying. I can't remember. It was 1998 or 1999. But was I in the second grade? I was 8. I was 7. I was in the second or third grade. I was in the second grade. My grandmother died when I was in the second grade. She is my anchor on the other side. My gifts got stronger when she died. It's a very weird story. The minute we found out that she was no longer on this earth, my gifts got stronger. And not just that, I got sick. And then the time that they put her in the ground, like the end of her funeral, when everybody was gone home, I felt better. I'm just saying. In middle school, I always tell people this story. In middle school, it was very difficult for me. My mom, I'm not gonna talk about her. This video is not about her, but it was a very difficult time. And when we went to the store, me and my mother, one time we went to the store. I'm playing with the basket or something, and I see somebody walking up to me, and I turn around, and it's this older lady who looks identical to my grandmother who passed away. This was in middle school, by the way. So my grandmother had been dead for some years now. And so this lady's walking up to me, and I'm freaking out. I freeze. I can't talk. I turn around to get my mom's attention. My mom turns around and just bursts into tears. The lady daughter walks up and she's like apologizing. The lady has Alzheimer's like my grandmother did. It was just a lot of parallels in this story from my grandmother and this lady. A lot of parallels, a lot of synchronicities, and that stays with me because this lady was trying to hug me. She was trying to hug me, and I feel like that was my grandmother. My grandmother is my anchor. I say this all the time, but she's my anchor on the other side, and she's my anchor in this reality as well. So yeah, that's a little plug about my grandmother. I have other stories about her, but maybe I'll do that on like a story time video or something. Where am I now? on my psychic medium journey. Where am I now? Like I said, I'm getting grounded into my spiritual beliefs, into my intuition again. I don't really know if I will ever do psychic medium readings. I love doing astrology readings. I will stick to astrology. Um, I also don't want this channel just to be about astrology and the occult or like spirit and psychic stuff. I'm also a chef. I like to bake, I like to cook. I'm actually working on some stuff right now. And I also like to sew. I like to do a lot of DIY type things, especially with food. If I can go to a restaurant and eat something, I can go home and remake it. That's how I think about things. I like to save money, especially in this economy. So that's kind of where I am now. I'm also working on a series with going over influential figures like famous people's charts. I'm working on, not my phone, just like the music just turned on. I'm working on an astrology video. I lost my train of thought because, like, what the hell? I'm working on an astrology series where I go over famous people's birth charts. And the first person is Michael Jackson. I really am working on this video. I've been saying this for like a month now, but I've been working on this since last year, on and off. But this time I'm really like, I got a deadline this time, okay? So I'm working on that as well. And I just want this channel, or I want to build a community where we are uplifting each other, we are helping each other. I want to help you guys with astrology, just like astrology has helped me in my life. I want to teach you guys some things. I want to learn some things from you guys. I don't want this to be a negative space. So if you come on my page or my channel with your hate, you're going to get blocked. I'm just letting you know that right now. Anybody come on my channel with hate, you're getting blocked because I just don't have time for it anymore. I've been through a lot. I am a psychic and a medium. I can feel people's energy really, really intensely. I'm always at home because I just don't like to go out. And I'm trying to get out of that as well. But yeah, so that's the end of this video. That's all I want to talk about. I tried to keep it really short, simple. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let me know if you need me to clarify anything. But until next time, you guys,